The diner was almost empty that chilly Thursday evening, snow tapping gently against the foggy windows like nature itself was trying to come inside for warmth. The only real warmth in the room came from the soft hum of conversation, the clinking of cutlery, and the smile of a waitress named Emily. She was young, probably in her mid-20s, with kind eyes and a quiet strength that made her popular with the regulars. One of those regulars was Jake, a single dad who came in every Thursday with his 6-year-old daughter, Lily. Jake didn't have much, but he had just enough for 2 grilled cheese sandwiches and a cup of hot cocoa for Lily. They made it a weekly tradition, something stable in a world that had felt shaky ever since Lily's mother passed away 2 years ago. Emily always treated them like family, slipping Lily extra marshmallows and asking about her drawings. Jake appreciated her kindness more than he could say. That night, something felt off. A man in a tailored suit, likely in his 50s, sat at the corner booth. He had a gold watch, an arrogant smirk, and a way of looking at people like they were beneath him. From the moment Emily walked over to take his order, his eyes followed her too closely, lingered too long. Jake noticed. He always noticed things like that now. He had learned to protect his daughter and see danger even in places no one else did. The rich man chuckled loudly when Emily politely declined his flirtatious remarks. Jake heard it clearly from across the room. "Come on, sweetheart," the man said with a greasy smile, loud enough for half the diner to hear. "Sit on my lap. I'll tip you more than you make all week." Emily froze, her smile dropping as the color drained from her face. Her hands trembled slightly as she clutched the order pad. Everyone heard it. Everyone saw it. But no one moved. Except Jake. He stood up without a second thought, anger burning in his chest. He walked toward the booth with the kind of quiet determination only a father could have. His voice was calm, but each word carried weight. "She's not for sale," Jake said, standing between the man and Emily. "Not now, not ever. So keep your money and your mouth to yourself." The diner went silent. The man scoffed, clearly not used to being spoken to like that. "Who are you supposed to be? Her hero?" Jake didn't flinch. "No, just someone who remembers what respect looks like." Emily looked at Jake, her eyes glossy but strong. She didn't need saving, but in that moment, she wasn't alone, and that mattered more than anything. The manager came over and asked the man to leave. After a few arrogant threats and muttered insults, he finally stormed out. The tension lifted slightly, though the room still felt heavy. Jake sat back down at his table with Lily, who had watched the whole thing with wide eyes. She didn't say anything at first, just reached across the table and held his hand. "Daddy," she whispered, "you're really brave." Jake smiled softly. "Brave just means doing the right thing even when it's scary, sweetheart." Later that night, after the last customer had left and the chairs were up on tables, Emily walked over to Jake and Lily as they were putting on their coats. "Thank you," she said quietly. "Most people just look away." Jake shrugged, humble as ever. "No one deserves to be treated like that." Emily looked at Lily and then back at Jake. "She's lucky to have you." Jake smiled, but there was something deeper behind it, something that held years of grief, sacrifice, and love. "I'm the lucky one." As they stepped out into the cold night, snow crunching beneath their boots, Jake pulled Lily close, his heart full and heavy at the same time. The world was far from perfect, but moments like this reminded him there was still good in it. Still people worth protecting. Still kindness worth defending. And for Emily, who stood by the window watching them disappear into the snow, that moment reminded her that not all men are monsters. That sometimes, help comes from the most unexpected places. And sometimes, a single voice can silence cruelty. In a world full of silence, Jake chose to speak. And in doing so, he reminded everyone that dignity isn't something you can buy or take. It's something we all deserve. And that truth, that simple act of courage in an ordinary diner, it echoed louder than anything the rich man could ever say.